So it's a local convenience store that has an awesome
By the
beer
way,
selection.
I want to point out the fact that you're getting on Miles about messing with his shirt. We spent the first 30 seconds of this podcast. Gus did not turn on his microphone.
Hey,
and why not?
At
It's on now. It's because I was pissing earlier. I didn't want you all to hear me pissing before we started
We
recording.
did 20 goddamn minutes of mic checks and audio tests. Gus, 3 minutes before the podcast goes on, he decides he's got to go to the bathroom and doesn't turn his mic back on. The guy who has to read our sponsorship ads.
I'll dub those. It'll be fine.
He didn't want you to hear him slagging you off in the toilets like they do on live TV sometimes.
What in the what?
Talking shit.
Okay.
I've done that before. I've been on a live mic and said some stupid shit once
Really?
or twice. Yeah.
Nice one.
Well, I don't know what I said, but then you look down, you see the mic, and you're like, fuck.
So what was the voter turnout? You're going to be killing me.
Okay, so 2008, the voter turnout, that's Obama's election when he won, was 56.8. 2004, when Bush was reelected for his second term, 55.3. In fact, the lowest presidential one I can find is 1996, which was Clinton's second term, 49.1%.
I'm surprised that they're all that high. I'm really genuinely shocked.
So if you think about Clinton, I can look it up, but Clinton didn't get 50% of 49%. So less than 25% of the country voted for Clinton to come back in a second term. I mean, it's always so funny because opponents of a president will always use that. They're like, oh, well, 75% of the country didn't even vote for him. It's like, yeah, but that's every president, Yeah. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And I was surprised to find out that in Australia, you have to vote. And if you don't vote, you get fined.
I do it that way.
I saw a great poster from Canada.
Do it
that just
online.
said, vote or shut the fuck up. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, I like that. Vote or
Yeah.
shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
I
quit
also don't like
complaining
the
if you-
idea of forcing people who are completely uneducated to go in and just start mashing buttons because they like somebody's name. Let the people who are educated and impassioned go and do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't compel someone. Make someone go out of their way, in order to make it count.
Yeah, but people. Yeah, I guess. What was the reason that America became independent from the English?
Taxation without representation.
Yeah.
What does
So
that mean?
the U.S. was taxed by the U.K., but had no representatives in Parliament.
Yeah.
So they were being taxed without being represented. So
It was taxes.
yeah. So it was
Basically
taxes. They didn't want to pay it anymore. So they revolted.
Huh.
That's all it was. That's why, like, have you heard of the Boston Tea Party?
Yeah, well, they dumped all the tea.
That's because there was a high tax on tea. So they figured rather than pay the import tax on tea, they'll just take it off the ship and throw it in the bay and ruin it.
Interesting.
I feel
Why
like
do
we're
they
teaching
dress
you
up as
something about
Native
America.
Americans? To
I
do
don't
that?
know.
What's that?
Why do they dress up as Native Americans to do that?
To symbolize America.
No.
What was America called?
What do you mean?
what?
Called America?
Well, what was it? Did the natives call it that?
Well, no. It's an Italian word, right?
Yeah, it's named after Amerigo Vespucci, who was the first map maker to draw North America.
Fucking knowledge over here.
Wow. I mean,
So he drew it and got it named after him.
Yeah.
That's a pretty
genius.
cool deal.
Yeah.
But so when was it named that?
That must have been, I want to say, in the mid 1500s, maybe early 1500s.
Okay.
What did the natives call it? I don't know. There were probably many different natives
Yeah.
and many different languages.
And
so
was it
there-
all one country to them?
No, there were no countries. It was like there was
Well,
no,
all one thing that they owned.
It was just
They-
the world, dude.
It was just the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. No, like there was no like invisible walls like for states and stuff. It was just like, oh, we're in a.
Do you think there's invisible walls for states now, Miles? Did those
No,
exist?
but you get what I'm saying. Like on a map, like
Arbitrary lines.
there were no arbitrary lines. Yeah, that's shit that we.
That
made
would be a
up.
fun thing I would like to do, and you would like this. I would like one state in America to draw their state line. Like they just set out, we're gonna make our state line.
There's
What,
this-
just paint
there's-
it paint it
Paint
on?
all the way around the.
Yeah, it's like paint over a tree, like down the side.
There was a.
so you know
It should-
exactly.
It should be like Kansas. That'd be super easy.
You know, it might be.
Was that just a box?
It could be in our
Yeah.
lifetime where they have some kind of thing where it superimposes that shit, like on
It
Google.
would be like the
Google
first down
Vision.
marker in football games where you see the yellow line.
Yeah, that'd be
clever.
badass.
That's technology. by the way.
So in the Declaration of Independence, right?
Go
it
ahead.
says something about all men are created equal.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, there's something about that.
Wasn't there slavery after that?
They were not
Yes.
considered people. This is a
Right.
horrible thing to say, but that was the thinking at the time that they weren't people.
They were property.
In fact, even
In fact,
after the
go-
Civil War, they were defined as 2/3 of a person. Is that-
3/5.
3/5.
And I want to say, I would say that loops back to our conversation about the Electoral College. I believe that's why the Electoral College was set up, because since slave or former slaves counted as less votes, they needed like this intermediary layer
Yeah.
to count
worrying
up to
thing-
round all the votes.
The
But the
Electoral
thing
College
is-
existed before the Civil War.
Did it? I think it was a side effect afterwards. I think there was an election, I want to say in 1804, where there was no clear winner, and I think the Electoral College was created. So yeah, 1804. That would be before the Civil War.
What's so
Okay.
disturbing to me is that since the start of time, up to even the start of humans, that was very recent.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
Yes, Gavin.
You sound like Joe the cat on Catnip today.
That's mental.
Well, I mean, you're approaching this too from a standpoint of you can't believe this happened in America.
No, I can't believe it happened anywhere.
It happened in pretty much every civilization too. I mean, the British Empire was a massive force of colonization everywhere.
Yeah.
In fact, there's an anti-Obama film that's out right now. God, what's the guy? It's the Indian guy who always is on Fox News. They made it. It's like showing in theaters now. It's like a total anti-Obama piece, and it talks about how this guy researched Obama, and essentially his philosophy on Obama is that Obama is anti-colonialism or anti-imperialism. That's where he comes from, because his dad was from Africa, which was a British colony, and so it's like everything that Obama does is to like wipe out imperialism and the shadow of imperialism across the world. It's just I'll take another one, thanks. Anyway, I saw it. It's
I had not heard of that.
regardless of content or the message it's trying to send, it's just, in my opinion, a terrible movie. It's just a lot of stuff in politics is that way in America, though. It's like it's not meant to really convince you of anything. It's just meant to support the people who already believe that.
Yeah.
That's my problem with politics in America, is that people will sit there at dinner parties and have these heated political discussions, but
They
no
already
one's
have
gonna fucking change their mind.
Right.
Yeah.
They have their mind made up.
I think
Or you feel
politics is the polite way of telling people that you think they're stupid.
Yeah, that's why I tried to stop Gavin initially when
Yeah.
he started having that politics conversations. I know we all have different opinions about it. It's like, and I don't want to force to talk about it in front of people that we shouldn't even try to change their mind. People have their own thoughts about it already.
No, and people take politics very, very, very seriously.
This is not the platform for that.
They do it on Facebook a lot too.
Everyone
I see
should
lots
chill.
of Facebook posts.
I've just recently started using Facebook because Ben convinced me, and he was absolutely right. He convinced me to turn off we had a fan page for me, and I didn't even know how to run that thing. I didn't know how to update it, and it was like you would like my fan page,
Yeah.
but then I just could turn on subscriptions
Yeah.
on my actual Facebook.
Well, I never liked the idea of a fan page.
Yeah.
Ben asked me if I wanted one. I said I don't want a fan page.
Yeah. I just link it to my Twitter.
Seems really douchey.
What, having a fan page?
Yeah.
You have a Twitter account. I mean,
That's not douchey. That's me on
You just
Twitter.
don't like
It's
the
not
term.
like
You just don't
it's
like
not
the term fan page.
It says become a fan or like.
Yeah, then
Well, it
I'm
was
a
the
fan of you,
solution
Gavin.
they had before, where
On
if
Facebook
people
and-
wanted to get your updates, but you didn't want them subscribing to your photos that you're putting up of your friends and your family. I get
Yeah.
that.
he totally stepped right on your dick. I saw that.
Yeah, no, he does that all the time. Joe's just
That's
stepping
the
on my
bonus.
dick. Now he's sitting on my dick. This is getting weird.
All right, I'm gonna see voter turnout in the UK. Hey Barb, while I'm looking this up, you can shout from off camera. Do they have what's voter turnout like in Canada? Do they make you vote, or is it by choice?
It's by choice.
Okay, she said it's by choice.
She looked to her parents for the answer,
Did she
who
really?
are off camera hiding. In
Barb
the
might
background over
Barb
there.
might not have been of age to vote in the time that there was an election. All right, here's voter turnout elections in the UK. Real quick, does UK have a higher voter turnout or less than
I'm gonna guess
America?
less, significantly less.
They have they have dropped off significantly, but they still have a higher turnout than America.
Really?
They have had as high as the mid 80s, like
Wow.
85%. In 2001, it looks like they had about 60, and that was their low point.
Wow.
Shout out
I
to
would
the
have thought
UK.
that with the date always changing and not being consistent, that it would be difficult to try to wrangle everyone to vote. But I guess not.
Of the four major regions in the UK, England, Wales, Scotland, and North Ireland, what do you think has the lowest voter turnout?
Scotland.
North
Northern
Ireland.
You are correct. Last election, they had 57.6.
The
So,
more you know.
Did we ever talk about this story? There was that sign in Wales that was written in Welsh.
Yeah, we talked about this once on the
Yeah,
podcast.
that it was like a road sign, and in Welsh it said, "I'm out of the office. Please email me after October 10th, and I will get back to you when I'm in the office." Because someone had sent off a piece of English to be translated to Welsh for the sign, and the guy was out of the office on vacation, so his autoresponder kicked back that. So they thought he was responding with the translation.
wow.
Yeah,
So
it's
they
on the sign.
posted
It's like,
on a sign his automated reply.
yeah,
from
the
being
sign
in
is
office,
like trucks turn right, down the bridge or something. I don't know.
and I'll
it
be out of
says-
the office for until
That's
November
really
5th.
Yeah.
Wow, that is fucking hilarious. God, people are, it's so stupid. It's so crazy what people do. Like, I embarrassed the
But
shit out of
that's
myself
like-
because I just started using Facebook.
Yeah.
And I made a faux pas on Facebook, which I didn't know. I was trying to figure out how the fuck to change my profile photo. And I couldn't figure it out because I put a picture of me from the Emmys is what I wanted for
saw
the new
that.
one instead of my podcast photo. But I'll talk about this in a second. But anyway, so I'm trying to figure out how to change my profile photo, and I clicked everything. And in clicking everything, I clicked like on my own photo, which apparently is a terrible thing to do.
What a jackass.
And everybody called me out on it.
No, bullshit. You didn't like your own photo. Fuck that.
Nah, apparently that's. I get that.
If you shouldn't do it, the button shouldn't be there. If the button's there, fuck it. Like whatever you do.
All right, there you go.
I'm
Have a little
firm
confidence.
believer in that.
So
I
if
like
there was
it
an
if someone else
option-
took the picture.
Huh?
I like it if someone else took the picture.
No, I want to take the picture myself and like it.
So if there was
I
an
look
option,
sexy as shit.
if there was an option for auto like everything you do, would you check that?
Yes, I would. I would definitely, because I wouldn't do it if I didn't like it.
If you were running in an election, let's tie this all together. Would you vote for yourself?
Yes.
Would you vote for yourself in an election?
Of what?
Anything.
Oh yeah, why not?
What the heck? Like you're running for prime minister. Oh God, it actually hurt my chest a little bit. So you're running for prime minister of the UK. Would you vote for yourself?
Yeah. What is always mental to me is that whenever someone comes into that position of power, there's always a residence where they go, like the White House or 10 Downing Street.
Go ahead.
So when they're not prime minister, like when they're not, they all have to move out. That sounds really like final to me. It's like, oh, get everything out, all your family, and then immediately someone else comes in who might have
Yeah.
like, completely different views.
Yeah.
I saw something on Reddit that was like when
You also get Secret Service protection for the rest of your life.
Yeah, you probably also don't have to rent the U-Haul or yourself. I'm sure there are people who take care of stuff. You probably also don't have to move the furniture. I'm sure it's
Probably
there.
stays
that would be
there, yeah.
pretty cool.
It'd be weird to live there though.
I mean, I think the White House is one big office, basically.
Yeah, but there's
I'd be
families there, isn't
Happy
there?
to get the fuck out of there. Yeah.
yeah.
There was a thing on Reddit where it said like when the Clinton administration and George W. Bush came in, like all the all the people underneath Clinton went around and just started erasing W's all around the White House, just like to fuck it up before George W. Bush came in.
Yeah, apparently there's a tradition of outgoing administrations
Hazing?
playing small pranks on incoming administrations. And apparently I think,
Really?
the president also supposedly leaves a note in the desk for the next incoming president. And they number it, I think. It's like, I think when George W. Bush went out of office and Obama came in, it was like from 41 to 42.
Really?
Yeah.
I would draw a picture of a dick.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I wonder if anyone has ever just like drawn a picture, just like you smell.
Man, I
Stinky
mean,
wavy
it seems
lines.
like that presidents would really rely on former presidents for just like information about how the hell to get stuff done. Learning curve of being president must be enormously high. I guess they learn it on the campaign trail.
It's like we always talk about how in the first year or two of a presidency, someone will age 10 years. Like they instantly they go from being young looking to like gray and tired looking all the time.
Yeah.
I never want that responsibility.
Like there's some kind of weight or knowledge that they
know something,
they
right?
figure out that, like,
they tell you something during orientation. You know, it's
Aliens.
like this is the bell to like get people to come to you. Here's your code word. Like what's Obama's Secret Service name? Like Geronimo or something? Or is
I don't
that's
know.
Bush, I think. Anyway, here's that, and also these are all the aliens.
Yeah, exactly.
We want you to meet them. They're nice, but don't look them in the eye. Or
They
something.
they live upstairs.
It would
They're
be,
allowed on the
it wouldn't be
weekends.
like that. It'd be in the movies where the guy under the president would know, but the president himself wouldn't know. Like Independence Day.
Day.
Yeah.
Mr. President, I think you should see some.
Plausible deniability.
There's got to be something, right? I mean,
Yeah.
one of the conspiracy theories, there's something. There's like,
Well,
by the
something
way,
that-
half the countries infected with this disease are all going to die in 30 years. So,
Yikes. I read that there was once a time where there's some moments where there's not a president.
what do you mean? There's some moment.
Well, like, the vice president can't just immediately become president straight away. He has to be like, has to do.
He has to
some
be sworn
ceremony.
in, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like after JFK got shot in the back of the face, there was no president for like an hour or something.
Back of the face, is that where he gets
Yeah.
shot?
Well, they have to declare him dead, and then they have to then
Well,
swear
there
in
was a
the
point
next in
when
line.
Reagan was going in for a colonoscopy, and they were going to cut polyps out of his colon, and George H. Bush was made president for 6 hours while Reagan was under anesthesia.
Really?